Welcome to Let the Music Set You Free, a monthly music hang with your host Katie Dobbins and special guests. Let the Music Set You Free showcases songwriters who are pursuing their creative calling and sharing their journey and music in hopes of inspiring others to embrace their passions as well. While music is the universal language that has the power to touch people unlike anything else, the reality is that many people need a helping hand beyond the power of music in order to move forward in their lives. In this series, songwriters are using their creativity to bring awareness and funds to organizations who provide tangible resources to people who need them. To support the cause, check out the donation link in the video description. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm hearing a weird echo. Is anyone else hearing that, or just me? Yes, Mariam, when you muted, it went away. She's going to fix it. Welcome to Let the Music Set You Free, everyone. I will preface this show while saying, first of all, tonight is very exciting for many reasons, one being that we are going international. Mariam is joining us from Morocco, which is very cool. And we have been having like a little bit of tech things that we've been able to work out here and there. So if we pause here and there a couple times throughout the show, please just be patient with us. We will figure it out. But I am Katie Dobbins, and I am originally from New Hampshire and have moved back to New Hampshire recently this past year. So I'm super excited to be back, getting back to my roots. And I also lived in Boston, Mass for about 10 years. So I also went to college in Maine, so I'm just like an all-around New England girl, which is why I'm focusing on New England causes and playing with artists from all over New England. And so we're going to take a second to kind of each introduce ourselves. I'm going to go to, I don't know, Mariam, do you want to see if that worked?
Yeah. Does it work?
I think so. Yay! Okay, do you want to introduce yourself then?
Awesome. Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here. Katie, thank you so much for having me. I'm Mariam. I'm a singer and songwriter, also studying education at the doctoral level. And I have started playing music, performing music quite a lot in the Boston area since 2015. And I'm super excited to be here and to tell you more about why I do what I do, and hopefully share a little bit of what it sounds like.
Yay! So Mariam is my musical guest for this evening, and then I also have Shauna Foster from New Beginnings. So Shauna, I just introduced you, but do you want to also introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Shauna Foster. I'm the program manager at New Beginnings Without Violence and Abuse. We are the Domestic and Sexual Violence Crisis Center serving all of Belknap County, so Lakes region in New Hampshire. And a really important part of the work that we do focuses on both emergency housing and transitional housing. And our new transitional housing facility is Sadie's Place. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that later, but we are the guest organization for tonight. And I am so excited and grateful to be here. So thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time, both of you, to join this. I'm so excited. Thank you, all of you who are tuning in. And if you would like to support the show, there is a donation link in the description of the video. And we're kind of sharing all of those funds, but 50% of that is going directly to New Beginnings in partnership with Sadie's Place. So just so you know where your kind and generous donations are going. So, all right, let's kick it off with some music, shall we? We didn't talk about this. Mariam, you're holding your guitar. Do you want to kick off the show, or do you want me to kick off the show?
I think you should kick off the show, okay? I'm just holding it because it's like a hug, but it's, go for it.
I love that. It's like a hug. Okay, so I'll kick us off, and then basically y'all are going to hear a bit of a mixtape tonight. Mariam and I are going to play music for a little bit, and then we'll bring Shauna back on stage with us to talk more about New Beginnings and all of the amazing work that they do. And then we'll play more music. So it's going to be fun. And I'm going to kick off the show with a song from my debut album that came out in 2017. So we're going back a little ways. This is a song called Something to Be Found, and it's near and dear to my heart. I don't play it that much, but I wanted to play it tonight because it's all about kind of listening to your inner child and coming back to yourself and the things that you love. And that feels really fitting for what we're going to be talking about and doing this evening.
Go where that is, I really don't know, but I'm driving now, hoping somewhere there's something to be found. Everything in me says I gotta get out. I've been working hard just like I'm supposed to, but these 60-hour weeks, they don't come free. I try to be my best for everyone and everything, but somewhere along this path I'm losing me. I can't remember the last time I wrote music or picked up my guitar and played a tune. Trust me, I know that I'm no Elvis, but it's something that I always loved to do. Now I gotta get back to her, to that little girl. She smiles at me in photographs, says, "Why are you so serious?" She's begging me to come back home. Will this road take me where I wanna go? Where that is, I really don't know, but I'm driving now, hoping somewhere there's something to be found. Everything in me says I gotta get out. I'm so thankful I got to go to college. Was 25 years old with 2 degrees. But life's not only about what's on that paper. I gotta see how far these legs will carry me. Yeah, I gotta get back to her, to that little girl. She's teasing me in photographs, says, "Why are you so serious?" She's begging me to come back home. Little girl, I'm coming back home.
Thank you. I'm not going to lie, halfway through that song, I was like, did I already play the second verse? So I don't know. I might have played a verse twice in there, but hey, here we are.
You sounded great. I loved it.
Thank you. Hi to everyone in the chat. If you're watching, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to say hi in the chat. We can see it all, and we love to know who's watching with us. So thanks for all your nice comments, and hi to everybody. I'm going to turn it over to you, Mariam. What would you like to play for us?
Well, Katie, you inspired me, so I'm gonna try to align with the themes that your songs bring and see if if we've got some commonalities as songwriters. I have this song called "I'm Music" that kind of covers just this idea that I was running away from music for quite a while actually, and part of it was because music is feelings, music is deep, and music was going to be what would make me authentic, and I guess I was scared of that for a while. So here is I'm Music, and it's a song I haven't played in so long, so I'm really excited to share it with everybody.
Awesome.
I thought of you as a friend I wouldn't date, out of fear of losing a connection so dear. In case I break, I pictured you as a current I couldn't swim. You would pull me in a breathless misery and then wash me away. I thought you were the bully disguised as a sister who'd pull me in and then knock me over once all my trust was granted. But you're still here, hanging out into my soul. 28 years and you never took up, even when I pushed you as far as heaven is from earth. But heaven is to be found on earth, and I found you in me. I'm music, I'm music, I'm music, I'm music. Judged you were the wind blowing me off my roots, dragging me through much more darkness than light. I thought I'd risk it all, so I tiptoed around and I toyed with a picture of us, planting a garden in the wrong season and watching it bloom in the fall. Yet you're still here, stronger than ever before. Your beauty is raw and you've turned me into gold, and now I'm melting in the shape of you. Yeah, you're still here, hanging out into my soul. 28 years and you never took off, even when I pushed you as far as heaven is from earth. But heaven is to be found on earth, and I found you in me. Yeah, you're still here, hanging out into my soul. 28 years and you never took off, even when I pushed you as far as heaven is from earth. But heaven is to be found on earth, and I found you in me. I'm music, I'm music, I'm music, I'm music. Thank you.
That was gorgeous.
Thanks so much.
I love that.
Brought me back to when I was 28 years old, and I'm 32 now, so.
I'm 32 also. We have so much in common.
I know. It's, yeah.
For everyone watching, Mariam and I are meeting for the first time this evening. We've chatted, but this is our first time chatting. So that's so cool. And we were talking a little bit before the show about how you and I have similar stories in that we both kind of felt like inadequate or kind of dimmed our light musically, thinking like, oh no, I don't know, that makes me nervous, or other people are better, I'll let them do it kind of thing. At least that's kind of how some of it was for me. And so I guess I would ask you, Mariam, what was kind of the catalyst moment? Was there like a moment that brought you back, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
The moment was just leaving an unhealthy relationship where, you know, I felt like I had to shrink and change and just hide everything about me. especially the musical side of me. And I think that once I freed myself from that sort of energy, I started, but it takes time. It's not really that kind of story where there was this moment and then I just started singing out in public every single day, and not at all. Like, it took me years after that, because there's so many learned behaviors that I kind of ended up feeling conditioned to sort of adopt, that it took me a while to be consistent with this idea of, I have this energy, I have this spark in me, and I want to be able to share it consistently in the world. And so if anybody out here is listening and is feeling like there's like an anchor that's kind of like, weighing them down, or, it takes time and it's a journey. And even today, like more than 5 years later, it's not like it's completely gonna go away, that thing that brings you down, but it can be a fuel. It can be that why that you keep in mind that makes you feel like, I have this new day in life, and I'm going to shine, and I'm going to give that little spark of energy and that speck of energy and share it with the world. So it's a journey, for sure.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And it's so true. It doesn't happen overnight. And I have a few songs that kind of are about that just idea that, yeah, it's definitely a journey. It's a process. And I just sent out an email to my mailing list this morning that was like, it's a good day to be free. And I said it that way because I named my first album She Is Free. And I do these shows, Let the Music Set You Free. But that doesn't mean that every day I feel like I know that I can be free from my limiting beliefs and the self-doubt and, those liar voices in my mind that, come at me sometimes. But I don't always feel like, sometimes I wake up and I have an off day, right? And it's that ongoing kind of reminding yourself, hey, let's get back. Tomorrow's a new day. We can do this. So I think it's really important to remember that just because you feel like you've overcome a giant, it's an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
Which, when you were talking and you said, I wasn't sure what song I was going to play next. I was debating between two, but you said that you felt like you had to shrink in that relationship. And so I'm going to play a song I wrote called Giants, because I've had a similar experience. And I would say this next song is kind of, I drew inspiration from a relationship and also from just my own. Sometimes it's other people that make you feel like you need to shrink, and sometimes we do it to ourselves, and sometimes it's a combination. So this song kind of has both.
I love it. I love that song, by the way. I'm excited.
Oh, thanks. Mariam, while I start playing this, will you do the unplug plug thing? Because your mic was just starting to. All right. Cool. Here we go. This is Giants. Your sweatshirt falling off my shoulders. It's too big, but then again, it always was. When did I become so small, living in your shadow? I don't feel the space at all. Feels like I've been swallowed. Don't take too much space, my mind said. Shrink so I don't risk anything. Better to be safe than to be sorry. Well, I'm sorry, I don't feel safe around giants. Maybe it's time I come out of hiding. Acting small just made me good at lying. Just so you could think that you're the giant. Your cologne washing off my shoulders. It's overpowering, but then again, it always was. Now that I am coming
coming clean, shedding everything but me, renewing all my skin. Tell me, are you panicking? Baby, do you feel safe around giants? 'Cause I think it's time I come out of hiding. Acting small just made me good at lying, just so you could think that you're the giant, but you're no giant. Don't take too much space, my mind said. Shrink so I don't risk anything. Trying to protect me, but I know now the giants are make believe. They're make believe. So I don't feel afraid around no giants. And I know it's time I come out of hiding. Acting small just made me good at lying, but there are no giants. No, you're no giant. Giants are make believe. They're make believe. Giants are make believe. They're bigger in your mind. Giants are make believe. We can beat them if we try. 'Cause giants are just make believe.
Wow. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you. That was one of those songs that I didn't really know where it came from. It just kind of wrote itself. And I was like, I think I just needed to get that out, even though it was from things that had happened so long ago. But like you said, it's a journey, and those things just don't go away overnight.
That's so true. And it's such a it's like an anthem. It's an anthem for setting yourself free, and it's such great advice for someone else too, or a good reminder for even yourself, I would imagine. Like, do you sometimes kind of like record and like listen to yourself, like listen to your songs and kind of use them as a healing just through listening instead of singing? Do you do that at all?
No. Do you?
I've started a little bit because I get so embarrassed, like listening to my own music. It's so weird, and I don't know why. But when I do force myself to listen to my own music, I just get super uplifted. Because
That's so cool.
yeah. Anyway, it's such a beautiful song, and I love its message. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. I will say, like, it is cool sometimes to play or listen to older songs, especially, and then to kind of be on the other side of when you wrote them first, or when you initially wrote them, and then to have kind of moved past some of that stuff and be able to be like, wow, I think I've grown since I wrote that song. That always feels really good. So I definitely do that a little bit.
Yeah, that feels great.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hi to everyone in the chat. If you're watching, please say hi, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I'm going to turn it over to Mariam to play another song, and then we're going to bring our guest Shauna on stage with us. on stage with us. I like to say that because I miss being on stage. But we're going to bring her in the window with us so that we can chat about all the amazing work that New Beginnings and Sadie's Place are doing in this local community. So, Mariam, take it away.
Thank you. And feel free to wave at me or something if you see that the sound gets funky. But this is hopefully still aligned with Katie's song. So it's called How It Began. She's sitting at a desk, facing the river, remembering how it began. It seems like forever, that time when her lover said, I trust you now, go find your dream. No way did he ever think the winds would blow so hard, so loud. 'Cause she found her dream. She left her lover and found the dream. Back then there was pain among many who cared, but it took her years to see that although he meant to love her, he stole all the colors that once made her one of a kind. No way did they ever think she'd come around. Run away. But she found her dream. She left her lover and found a dream. Crossing the John Weeks Bridge, flashes of golden years. She wanted them bad, so she wrote him goodbye in a manner most unkind. She knew a letter he wouldn't fight, and for days and nights their years had gone by, remorse still crippled deep down. No way did she ever think his memory would hold so long. Still she found her dream while the winds kept blowing, yet she ran away. And she found her dream. She's sitting at a desk, facing the river, remembering how it began.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Your voice and your playing, and it's all just very, like, you have a very dreamlike quality that really, it draws me into the scene that you're painting a picture of, and it just makes me feel like I'm right there with you. It's so nice.
Thank you so much. I felt the same way about your singing, so.
It really
Thank
is
you.
so beautiful. I love that song.
Thank you.
She found her dream. So is that song about you? Are you the main character?
Yep.
Because I do that a lot. I write songs in third person, but it's really me.
Yeah, I was it was funny. It was the way it happened, the way I wrote this song was I had the flu. This was in I I don't know, probably 2018. Yeah, spring 2018. I had a terrible flu. And I was sitting in the graduate dorm, and there's this window to this study area, and there's this this student who sits there every single day and studies. And the desk that she was at was right across from the river. And so I was starting to wonder about what her life was like. And it kind of morphed into reminiscing how my journey started, and that's kind of where the third person comes from. But this is basically an answer to your question of kind of like how things started.
Yeah, I love that. No, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your music with all of us. And before we bring Shauna on, where can people find your music, Mariam?
So people can find my music on SoundCloud, using my name, Mariam Dahbi, on SoundCloud. I'm also the singer and songwriter, and then our band cordeliaband.com. And I have a couple of videos on YouTube under Cordelia as well. So yeah, Cordelia or my first and last name. You should be able to find me. Thank you. And I'm excited to hear all about the conversation that's about to happen, because I think it's going to be super, super interesting and super important for people to hear.
Yes, and I'm going to keep you on the screen, so if at any point you have a question for Shauna or anything, no pressure.
Oh, cool.
But you're welcome to obviously, jump in. But I'm going to bring Shauna Foster on screen with us. So Shauna is representing the organization that we are giving 50% of tonight's donations to, New Beginnings, in partnership with Sadie's Place. So hi, Shauna. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Oh, thank you both. I love your song choices. They were really beautiful.
Thank you. So I guess to get started, Shauna, what is your role at New Beginnings? And I know that New Beginnings does a lot. You guys do so much. So I don't know if there's I'm sure you can maybe kind of summarize for us what you're all about and all of the wonderful things you do. I know it's a lot from looking into all of the incredible work that you do.
Yeah, so we're a small nonprofit organization, like I mentioned, in the Lakes region of New Hampshire, serving Belknap County. And we are a social change agency focused on ending domestic violence and sexual assault in our community. So we do everything from age-appropriate prevention education for grades K through 12 in our local school districts. We offer support groups for children, teens, and adults. One-on-one peer support, so not utilizing a clinical model, but speaking to survivors and helping them work through some of the trauma they've experienced, learning more about the dynamics of those unhealthy relationships or a sexual assault, coming up with goal plans together, and then working collaboratively to help them achieve their goals. We offer an emergency shelter, which I think is generally the first thing that people think of when they think of a domestic violence program. So that is an emergency shelter space for families and individuals who are fleeing violence at home. There's no maximum length of stay for shelter, so guests can stay as long as they need to while they're sort of establishing next steps and finding permanent safe housing. We provide court advocacy and support. We work really closely with our local child advocacy center. They conduct forensic interviews for child victims of crime, and we support both the child victim and the non-offending caregiver in those cases. And we really try to enmesh ourselves in our community to meet with local stakeholders and different organizations to raise awareness about our cause. Beyond that, our services are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that is done through the help of some really wonderful dedicated volunteers and our small staff. There are 10 of us doing this work.
There's only 10 of you doing all that?
Yeah. We stay pretty busy.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, it's impressive anyway, but wow.
We've grown a lot. I started here 10 years ago. I'm also 32, by the way. So we're
Power squad.
Yeah. And we had probably maybe 5 staff total at that time and provided all of the same really great services. But we've been fortunate to experience a great deal of growth in the last few years. So we've grown both in number of staff and in, I guess, the level of programming we're able to offer. So transitional housing is new for us. Those education programs, which of course stop the cycle before it starts, those have been able to expand in recent years. So we feel very, very lucky.
Absolutely. So, can you talk a little bit specifically about your partnership with Sadie's Place, which is based in Meredith, New Hampshire?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, we have that emergency shelter. That was one of the first programs we started when we were established in 1991. And we were designed both in sort of the scope of our program and the physical architecture of our building to be a short-term emergency refuge for survivors. So the average length of stay would be a couple days to a couple of weeks while someone figured out their next steps. Over time, as the housing crisis got more difficult to navigate, rental properties are really hard to come by in this area, especially because we're in a very vacation-esque seasonal part of the state. The opioid epidemic that touched a lot of lives really complicated things for survivors. It's a little harder to find a job and really make a good living. So over the years, that shelter stay has gone up to averaging about a year at a time. So for families and individuals who have experienced trauma to live communally in a shelter space that was designed to be a really quick fix for someone has been really, really tough. We've been trying to find a creative solution to this for years. Sadie's Place is the result of 2 very generous New Hampshire sisters who cared deeply about women's rights and were quite involved in the battered women's movement and wanted to help women who are victims of abuse. They established a trust, and the folks running the trust approached us. They were interested in establishing a program in our area in Belknap County and in the Lakes region. And we've been sort of batting around this program for a long time, trying to figure out how to launch it, how to partner together, what this would look like. And the end result is Sadie's Place, which is named after one of the women's beloved pet dog. And it is a 5-unit, fully furnished apartment building in Meredith. We also have an office and a live-in peer support person who's available to the residents. It serves as transitional housing, so families can stay with us up to 2 years. And we'll take referrals from survivors themselves. People can call us and self-refer. We are at times transitioning our shelter guests into Sadie's Place if they need more of that long-term wraparound support. And other social service agencies in our community and in our state can make referrals. Once a family is settled in at Sadie's Place, they will get financial empowerment programming, some education around what it looks like to be a good tenant, how to apartment search, what to look for in an apartment, support for themselves and their children in recovering from trauma, that peer support model again, which is so key to the work that we do, and really anything else that they need in meeting their long-term goals.
So, what I really love about this is that I love the long term stay and the fact that throughout all of that, you're really giving women a chance to heal. Because, like we were saying, we weren't talking specifically about this, Mariam, but we were saying like all of this is a journey, and it really, I'm sure, takes time and resources and, like you were saying, relationships. And so in that healing process, for anyone watching or for any of us who might know someone who's going through some of this, like what can we do? Because I also saw on your when I was kind of looking through your website and things that you're all about community awareness too. So how can we as good neighbors and good friends and good community members, like how can we help? I guess it's kind of a broad question.
Sure. So I think one of the most important things to consider is implementing for yourself, for friends and loved ones and community members, the empowerment model, which is what we use in our work. And that is basically recognizing that we do not know what is best for each individual person. So when we are working with a survivor, we are considering her, and I'll use female pronouns, but we do serve male and non-binary survivors as well. So she is the expert in her own life and in her own experiences. It's not our job to tell her what to do with her relationship or with her children or her household. It's simply our job to give her the tools and support and resources to make her own decision in her own time and in her own way. So we'll often get calls from concerned family members who just so badly want to see their loved one out of this relationship. And, I'm making this call for her. Why can't she just do this? And they're really not understanding, um, what's taking so long, or what the difficulty is in leaving the relationship. So just remaining a consistent, non-judgmental, supportive presence for people is so powerful. And I think speaking up about our own experiences is a really powerful tool. I grew up with the saying, sort of, don't air your dirty laundry. And we find that to be
Right.
very, very dangerous. And it keeps women silent, it keeps victims silent, and it helps to perpetuate this cycle even more. So speaking up and speaking out is really a powerful tool in this work.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say are, and I'm sorry, none of these are questions that I prepped you with, so thank you. What would you say are some of the like biggest kind of red flag warning signs that you see in people who are struggling with this but might not recognize it in themselves yet, or might not realize that it's kind of becoming harmful to them?
Mm-hmm. So there are definitely red flags in a slow buildup, because if someone is abusive on the first date, there's not going to be a second date, right? So generally it's once you love this person that things start getting so bad that you can't get out of it. And I think some of the biggest red flags that we see are things like jealousy, your partner going through your phone, not wanting you to hang out with your friends, wondering what you're doing, who you're talking to, where you're going, why aren't you texting me back sooner? FaceTime me so I know you're not cheating on me. All of those types of conversations or statements. Love bombing is a big one. So, day 3 and the person saying they love you, move in with me, I'll take care of you. You're the best ever, and probably you are the best ever, but no one knows that after 3 days if we're looking at a relationship from a more healthy perspective. Really starting in on that isolation, so making it so that you have rough waters with friends and family members, suggesting a big move across the country. So even like physical isolation is something that we see, and it tends to be a slow build from there. Trying to limit the person's resources. So again, that don't work, I'll take care of you. That's a big one. Because what are you going to do at that point if you're living in this person's house and your sole source of income is their income, and maybe they're paying for your phone plan, so they have access to your phone activity. That can be a really, really slippery slope once you lose that control.
Yeah, so that's like really helpful, I think, just to help us and people just be more aware of what to look for and kind of recognize those warning signs, I guess. Because like you said, it's a slow build, right? So it's I think what I've seen, the limited times that I've kind of like seen something like this is that it's all little things that eventually add up to sometimes the bigger things. And so what about if someone is watching now or later or listening to the podcast, and they're thinking, yeah, I think that I'm experiencing some of those red flags that Shauna mentioned, but I don't need help. Like, I don't think it's anything. I'm fine. Or they might be starting to think they might need help, but they just don't really know what to do with that. And they don't know, like, what even is the first step of getting help. I guess what would your advice be to that person?
Yeah, I think what I would say for that is that our 24-hour crisis line, or even just accessing one of our advocates during business hours, can be really helpful, because you don't even have to give your name. If you're not, you just have some questions, or you're wondering, things don't feel quite right, I want to run this by someone. Every service that we provide is confidential. So we sometimes do get calls like, hey, is this a red flag? Or what would you suggest I do in this situation? I don't want to leave this person, but I don't think something's quite right here. And we can give some tools and resources, or provide some education on sort of the cycle of power and control that we see in these relationships, and just offer to be a continued resource for that person. And we are a member of the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence, and they operate a statewide hotline as well. And I don't have that number memorized, so I'm trying to look it up while I talk. But same thing. Anyone who's watching can get connected with their local domestic and sexual violence crisis center to get confidential support.
And no, it sounds like no strings attached too. It's like it can just be a casual conversation. Nothing ever has to come with it, which I think is really important for people to know, because I think when you think of calling a crisis hotline, it's like, but I'm not in crisis, or, well, what are they going to make me do? Are they going to make me sign up for like a, whatever? So I think that's really important to note, and awesome that you are just there to listen and talk if someone wants, and then they could just never call again, and that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
I just found that number, so I can put it in the chat in case anyone is interested.
Awesome.
So this is a free and confidential statewide hotline.
Everyone's really resonating too with everything that you're saying about empowering and self-empowerment, and, kind of being strong. And so that's really resonating with people. That's really cool. And also, my dad's encouraging us that 32 is a wonderful age. I'm also going to put the crisis line. I can just put it right on the screen too.
Perfect.
Give me 1 second, everybody. Here we go. Did it work?
Yeah.
Awesome. There's that hotline. So for New Hampshire, we'll remind people this is for New Hampshire. And I think, every state has something like this where you can reach out for help. I am very quick to talk. So Mariam, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I did want to just check in with you. Did you have any questions for Shauna?
Yeah. First off, thank you so much, Shauna, for sharing the insights that you just shared. It's a universal situation that people encounter, and I could relate to a lot of what you talked about, and especially the part about family and how hard it is for families to witness these kinds of situations. And this whole idea of saying, well, we're the empowerment model, right? We don't know what's best for this person. This person knows best what's best for them, and we're here to support. There is this sense, I think, among all of us, because we want to save each other, that we just want to get people out of these situations, and it's so hard to just sit and watch people suffer. And I think I've definitely heard people say, well, if you don't try, if you don't do something, then it's like you don't care. What would your response be to those of us who feel like they have a duty to say something and do something and confront the person, even though that might not work?
Yeah, a phrase that I use in conversations with survivors, frankly, with friends and family at this point too, if someone is starting to talk to me about their experiences, is, do you want advice, or do you want me to listen? Because sometimes people just need to feel heard. So I think that's sort of step one. And if you are giving advice, not saying things like, oh, you need to, or you should, or you have to. instead saying, have you considered, or did you know about this resource? Sort of a gentler approach so that the person doesn't feel attacked. What you don't want to do is put them in a position where they feel judged, because then they're less likely to reach out to you again. And it's sort of pushing them a little more toward the person who's hurting them. So I think you could even say something like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I care about you very much. Is there anything I can do to help you? Putting the ball a little bit more in their court so that you're not just one more person telling them what to do.
Yeah, that sounds really effective. And would you say that people who feel like they need to tell people what to do you think that they should maybe work on their own stuff? You know what I mean? Like the need to kind of intervene, the need to control the outcome of a situation, the need to be more self-aware.
Sure. Yeah. I think and I'm not trained in any sort of clinical model, so I can't really speak to our own mental health areas that we need to work on. But I think just in terms of maintaining a supportive, non-judgmental relationship, it's so important to take a step back and consider that we all have different paths and we all have different ways of getting where we need to be and staying safe. And especially in relationships that are violent or unsafe, there are so many things that we as outsiders are not seeing. So it's really important to listen to the survivor, because they really are the expert in their own lives and in what's going on. So they might, for example, they might be choosing not to leave because they know it's not safe right now, but maybe it will be in a week. And they sort of need to feel things out so that they don't set off the perpetrator or make them more angry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I hope that people can kind of start to understand that non-judgment is not indifference. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a really good point and really great questions. And I think it's helped, like the language that you used, Shauna, in talking with people, and even just the simple, do you want advice or do you want me to listen, resonates with me so much, because I'm a fixer. I'm so quick to be like, well, let me tell you. And so I think that's really helpful. And it's such a simple change in our vernacular that we can all implement pretty quickly. So this has been so great and just really awesome to hear all of I love how comprehensive your approach to all of this is, and how you're really kind of trying to tackle this from all angles, from what's the word? A holistic approach to healing. So I really love that about what you're doing. And if, I guess, so tonight we're raising funds for this. So anyone who is feeling compelled to donate to tonight's show, we would love your support. And 50% of all of the donations collected are going straight to New Beginnings in partnership with Sadie's Place. And also, it's not just financial needs that you have, but you guys also accept volunteers and things like that, correct? So if someone wanted to get involved in a different way than financially, how would they do that?
Yeah, we are really undergoing efforts to recruit volunteers for our 24-hour crisis line right now. That is a critical part of sort of keeping our organization going and working toward our mission. The crisis line volunteer work is done from home, from your front porch while you're out running errands. All you need is a solid phone connection and the ability to respond in person to Concord Hospital, Laconia. You receive all the training that you need. And it's just, again, a really critical part of this work. So anyone who's interested can go to our website, which is on the screen. And there is a tab to get involved and fill out a form with your contact information, and our volunteer coordinator can be in touch. We can also be reached by our office line, which is 603-528-6511.
Awesome. And so the website is where you can go if you want to volunteer. Also, if you're looking to receive services from you can check out that website as well, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Great. Is there anything that you wanted to share with everyone watching that we haven't asked about yet before we let you go enjoy the show in your comfy PJs from your couch?
I don't think so. I'm just, again, so appreciative. This was really special, and thank you for including me.
Thank you so much for joining us and for telling us all about what you do and educating us, really, and helping us kind of know the signs and know how to be good friends and neighbors. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna.
Mariam, your mic needs a quick reset. All right, well, say goodbye. Thank you so much. And okay, she was so nice. That was amazing. So this is specifically for New Hampshire and the Belknap County, which is where I'm located, Laconia, Meredith. I don't know all the towns in the county, but and if you are watching but you're not from New Hampshire, then I encourage you to look up if you feel like you need services like this or you know who's someone who does. I know that there are really great things like this in all of the states. So please reach out if you are watching and you do need help, because there are people who would love to help you. Okay, so we're going to get back to some music. And Mariam is joining me from Morocco tonight, and we are playing music to kind of tell our story and also to raise money for New Beginnings, which is the organization that Shauna was just talking about, in partnership with Sadie's Place, where they provide that long-term kind of transitional housing for people in need. So that's where your money is going tonight, supporting New Beginnings and also Mariam and I. But let's get back to some tunes, shall we? All right, so I think it's my turn, and I'm thinking about what to play, and I think I'm going to play a song called Glow. So if anyone doesn't know what a glow up is, who's watching, you don't?
I don't.
Oh.
What's a glow up?
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't need to know what a glow up is. It's just that we're the same age, so I thought you would.
It might be cultural, though. English as a second language or
Oh.
fourth.
Right, yes. So a glow up is, I don't even know how to explain it really, but it's when someone, I guess, has like a big self-improvement. So you, I don't know, like people will post a picture of them in middle school looking really awkward, and then they'll post a really sexy picture of them, at 25, and they'll be like, check out my glow up. I had a good glow up, like meaning I'm so much better now than I was.
Love it.
I look better, or maybe I have a better job or whatever. But I wanted to play this tonight because thinking about the community that Shauna and New Beginnings and Sadie's Place are serving, it is such hard work that they're doing, and on a community level, on an individual level. And I'm sure it's frustrating sometimes. Like she was saying that those women often will stay averaging about a year. And that's just a long time. I imagine it feels like a long time to be like trying to heal from all of this stuff. And so my song is called Glow, and it's about trying to live in the glow and embrace the glow, meaning the transition or the in-between time or the work part of it before you reach your glow up. All right, here we go.
Everybody talking about a glow up, and I'm just sitting here trying to grow up. Why they gotta make it look so easy? 6 figures buys fine wine, but I just reset my whole life. I'm gonna be here while dreaming, while I'm living life in the glow. Oh, I'm living life in the glow. Oh, I'm soaking it only takes a minute, but I know the best part is the in-between. Life's like whiskey and fine wine, only getting better with time. I'm gonna rejoice in these moments while I'm living life in the glow. Oh, I'm living life in the glow. Oh, I'm soaking in every moment. Oh, meant in the glow. Oh, everybody asking if I'm okay. I guess I made it to another birthday. When did we start measuring with candles anyway? Nothing here is missing. I'm in the middle of a dream, and turns out it's a good place to be. Please don't make me wake from living life in the glow. Oh, I'm living life in the glow. Oh, I'm soaking in every moment. Oh, meant in the glow. Oh, I'm living life in the glow.
Woohoo!
I wrote that song when I went into full-time music because I transitioned this year into just, I'm going to do the thing. I'm putting all my time and resources and energy into music. And I wrote that song because I was like, I definitely haven't had my glow up yet.
I love it. It's like a soundtrack for someone's, coming of age and, making things happen. I love it. It's so uplifting.
Aw, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was just, I'm so glad this sound is back to working, like right on time.
Perfect.
Let me see if I can match that thematically.
Okay, this is a fun game.
I know. I don't think this is exactly the same. But this is a song about just kind of speaking to that person and saying, hey, I think it's time you leave me alone. Don't see me. Don't see me ever again. Don't hug me. Don't hug me ever again. Don't try. Don't try. Let me fly. Don't ask me. Don't ask me to be your friend. And don't blame me. Don't blame me for letting it end. Don't try. Don't try. Let me fly. Don't try. Don't try. Cause I'm gonna fly. See, I would lie if I told you I'm fine, but I don't want you to know that I'm crying. I have my pride and my self-worth, so let's just leave it at that. Ooh, don't see me, no. Don't hug me, don't you try. see me no way. 'Cause I'm gonna fly. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fly. Don't see me, no. Don't hug me, no. Let me fly. Thank you.
That was so beautiful. All your songs are so beautiful.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you, your songs. Thanks so much. It feels so nice to revisit. Thank you, Dave. I'm gonna fly. It's like in the beginning I was asking for permission and now I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I love that transformation. It's so powerful. It's so empowering. It's like, I don't need to ask for anyone's permission. I do what I want. I'm a free bird. Love it.
That's right.
So speaking of doing what you want and being a free bird, I'll pause to ask you one of my questions, which is, you know, we talked a little bit about how you and I have a similar story in that we both came back to music after kind of hiding it, I guess, for a while. And since coming back, because we've acknowledged that this is a journey and we're always growing, we're always learning, it doesn't happen overnight. So what are some of the challenges that you faced as you continue to be vulnerable and write this beautiful music and put yourself out there and share it with the world? What are some challenges that you face and how do you overcome that?
That's a great question. Well, there's like the basic mundane surface level challenges, like I'm still in a PhD program and you know the bulk of my time is spent not on music, and then there's the deeper elements of it where I think I still get in my own way. I think that, you know, at the end of any event like this one, especially this one, you know, I'm not even gonna go to sleep right away. I'm just gonna be so pumped, just like I am now. It's so energizing. It's so invigorating, and I tend to forget, right? So, and then, you know, the next day I get back to my work, my studying and everything, and then I just like get pulled and sucked back into a world that's musicless. And I think that that's the hard thing in the challenge is to every single day remind myself of what empowers me, what energizes me, what makes me feel like I'm actually alive and like I'm shining and contributing to this world, from my heart, like from my soul. And I forget to do that. And I think that one way is to just kind of in this moment, right? Not just close the computer and go to bed, but rather kind of like make plans for something else or reach out to someone else and just kind of getting ahead of that happening in a sense, you know, trying to get a head start and be like, okay, I know I'm going to forget about this for a couple of weeks. What can I do to just make sure that I have another moment of music? I have another moment to write songs. The other challenge is just the fact that I sometimes worry about how my music's going to be received, or worrying about, does my music make me sound like I'm behind on the development that I'm supposed to, the developmental level that I'm supposed to be at, right? Like, is that going to make me sound childish? Is that going to make me sound too sensitive, too emotional? You know what I mean?
I do, and I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but it makes me think of just in the music world alone. I think there's this and I don't know if this is what you mean by that, but it's like, oh, if you're a real artist, you phrase things a certain way, or like you have your music theory knowledge in a certain way, or you like, because I sometimes will write a song that I really like, but I get nervous playing it at an open mic in front of my peers or something, because I'm like, I don't know, it's not artsy enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know how to put that in words, and I'm not sure if that's what you were saying, but
Yeah,
we can compare ourselves sometimes, and that causes doubt too, because it's like, well, is art any less art because you said something simply, or you said it in a mysterious way that can be interpreted different ways? You know, I don't think so.
I totally agree with you. That's exactly what I'm going through as well. And I bet you, the funny thing is, I bet you those people we compare ourselves to feel exactly the same way. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
yeah, we just we don't want to fail. We don't want to fail others, but we forget about failing ourselves. And
Yes.
that's the part that we want to focus on, is to just nourish what we just do, what it is that we need to do, and then somehow things fall in place.
And that's how you shine brightest, when you're doing what's best for you, or what you resonate with most, what you feel most alive with. If you're trying to write music that's going to resonate with someone else, or, you know, please a certain crowd, if you will, then you might not actually write your best music anyway.
Exactly. It's all about intent. It's all about what your intention is. And if your intention when you write is to heal yourself, then, you know, odds are it's probably going to help others heal too, because we have so much in common, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My dad says we could have been twins separated at birth. Similar soulful challenges.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And I think your dad said earlier we should go on tour together, and I concur.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
I know, totally. This is so fun. I love that we are doing, I love that we met for the first time tonight, and it feels very easy to talk to you.
Same.
Which is exciting. So, okay, I'm going to thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I'm going to play another song about gratitude, because sometimes how I overcome challenges, especially in music or with anything really, is with gratitude. And it sounds kind of cheesy and corny, but it's so true. Sometimes I have to take a step back and remember how lucky I am that I have a singing voice that I enjoy singing with, and that I can make music, and that I'm able to make music, and I have the luxury of like time to even do that. And so for me, it's been really important to just take those moments of step back and say like, hey, stop grumbling, stop focusing on the challenges, and just like be grateful for a moment. So this is a song called Grateful that I don't play a lot, but I'm going to play it tonight.
You shine like the northern lights. Your colors radiate in the night, and I am grateful. I am grateful. Where there is sorrow, you bring the hope. Where there is worry, you bring the peace. When I can't take it, you say have faith, and I am grateful. Yes, I am grateful. 'Cause you shine like the northern lights. Your colors radiate in the night, and I am grateful. Yes, I am grateful. You're a rare kind. shame. You bring the grace when I feel broken. You say I'm whole when I am weary. You bring the strength, and I am grateful. Yes, I am grateful. 'Cause you shine like the northern lights. Your colors radiate in the night, and I am grateful. I am grateful. You're a rare kind. Pink and green and blue and gold rush into my world. Color outside the lines I've known and overwhelm my soul. Pink and green and blue and gold rush into my world. Color outside the lines I've known and overwhelm my soul. Yeah, you shine like the northern lights. Your colors radiate in my mind, and I am grateful, forever grateful. You're a rare kind, and I am grateful. Yes, I am grateful, forever grateful.
Okay, I cried.
No, you didn't.
Oh my God. What a beautiful, another anthem. You have like these, you have soundtracks, anthems.
I'm gonna have to update my bio. Mariam
Wow.
says I have anthems.
For real, it was
Thank
so
you.
beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this music with the world and with me. Oh man, that was beautiful.
Thank you
Okay,
so
I need to
much.
add that to my like self pumping myself playlist.
I haven't
beautiful.
recorded that one, but I do actually. I made a demo of it last fall when I wrote it, but I was just learning how to make demos, so I don't know. I can't attest to how wonderful it sounds, but it is on Bandcamp.
I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna check it out. I'm going to listen to it. And just so you know, like when I closed my eyes as I was listening, and I was just transported into kind of a, I don't know, like a church type of situation with a gospel choir, and it was just picking up, and I had chills. It was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I feel God was a big inspiration for that song, so that actually really makes my heart happy. Because I don't say that in the song. So the fact that you kind of got that imagery is really, really, really cool.
Yeah, I definitely felt it. It was so powerful.
That's awesome. I love that. All right. Well, play me something because I now can't wait to hear another one of yours. And I love that you said too, like, thank you for sharing this music with the world, because I think that's also something that's important for us to remember. It's never just about us. And if we have something to say, something positive to bring to the world, we should. And we can get in our own way and be like, I don't know, will anyone like it? Will anyone resonate with it? But like you said earlier, if it resonates with you, it's going to resonate with someone else. So we have to share it. We have this duty, I think.
It's such a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift, yes.
Wow.
I'm going to get out of your way.
Whew. Am I sounding okay still? The microphone? I'm going to assume that I am. Your song made me think about this song called Peace. It just made me feel peaceful. And so I'm going to share this song with you. When you look at me, I see peace. When you smile with me, I feel relief. When we share a love, I want it to last. I want it to last. We are worlds apart, but so meant to hold each other's hands. When we share a love, I want it to last. I want it to last. We're worlds apart, but so meant to hold each other's hands. When you look at me, I see peace. Ooh, when we share a love, I want it to last. I want it to last. We are worlds apart, but so meant to hold each other's hands. When we share a love, I want it to last. I want it to last. We're worlds apart, but so meant to hold each other's hands. When you look at me, I see peace. When you look at me, I see peace.
Ah,
You.
it's so beautiful. I need to come up with like a better adjective to describe what I'm actually feeling. Because it
Thank
doesn't
you.
quite, like, it's better than beautiful. I love
Thank you
it.
so much. Thank
I
you.
love it. And we have another. You're getting a lot of positive feedback in the chat too, so I hope that you're seeing
Oh,
all
thank
the
you,
comments.
Dave. Thanks, Jay.
I know we're inching on 7:30, but now I have to play a song that plays off of the song that you just played,
Totally.
which will be
We
my
gotta.
last song. I have to.
Oh.
And then I will ask you my last question or questions. And then I will let you close the show. So if you want to think about what you want your last song to be. This is so much fun, though. I don't want it to end. We could do this all night, and I would be happy. But
Same
everyone
here.
give Mariam a huge round of applause because she's tuning in from Morocco. And right now, it's 7:30 for us on the East Coast, but where you are, it is 11:30. Is that right?
12:30.
Oh, 12:30. Oh,
midnight.
gosh.
Yeah. Fun times, though.
So-
I love it.
So she's really pulling through for us, and we love that. So I'll do one
Thank you
more
for having
song.
me.
We'll chat a little bit, and then you'll close us out, and we'll be just around 7:30, which is pretty good. Yeah. So this song is called "In Your Eyes," which is why I had to play it after that.
If eyes could talk well, I know yours would have a lot to say there. So clear like the bluish shade of ocean on a Sunday. And I feel your love in my bones, even when I can't hear you say it. The same way the salt air fills my lungs when I breathe it in. There's a whole world in your eyes, water, wind and fire. It makes me come alive. There's a clarity that calms the raging storm inside when you see me. If eyes had wings, well, I think yours would carry me away to the sky where dreamers play, free from boundaries. There's a whole world in your eyes, water, wind and fire. It makes me come alive. There's a clarity that calms the raging storm inside when you see me. When you see me. Let's not say anything, I don't need it. There are places words can't go, I can't explain it. All I know is I can feel it through the windows of your soul. If eyes could talk well, I know yours would have a lot to say.
Woohoo!
Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So uplifting.
Thank you. It's the first time I tried it with some beats. 'Cause
I love the beats.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I loved it. I loved
Makes
the
it a
build
little
up.
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wrote that one. It's inspired by my Nana because she, towards the end of her life, could no longer speak. But I always felt so connected with her, just like through her eyes. She had the most beautiful blue eyes, and so that's what inspired that song. But connections with people is what brings it. It's the most important thing about this life that we get to live, and this time that we get to share here while we're in the world. And so it's so important to see other people and be seen by other people. And that's why I loved your song too. When, when I see you, I see peace. I'm not getting the lyric exactly right. Say it.
No, but it's
Or sing it. Sing it.
when you look at me, I see peace.
Yeah.
When you smile with me, I feel relief. Yeah.
Like there's something about that human connection that doesn't even need to be words, but just sitting with someone, which is also what Shauna was talking about earlier, just like being present and listening to someone. And I think that's a lot of what we're talking about tonight. So that's why I wanted to play that song. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, thank you. And all right, so my last question for you, and then you're going to play us out. What message do you have for others who are passionate about something, or they have a dream, but there's just something holding them back? Maybe it's just themselves holding them back from actually doing it. What message do you have for them?
Great question. Okay, so if you feel like other people are holding you back, or you feel like other people's opinion of you might influence you, a little thing to think about is, what do they call those? Waves. So like in people who are in the journalism industry and the press and all of that, they function in waves, right? Like it's not the right word, like technical word for it, but people talk about stuff and then they forget and then they move on to something else. So if you feel like if other people are like talking about you, or their idea of you is weighing on you, I promise you that they are, the moment that you think that they're thinking, they've moved on. They're already thinking about something else, somebody else, criticizing other people, talking about other people's stuff.
Maybe they're obsessing about themselves.
Yes, exactly. Or they're afraid of looking at themselves. And so they're just, looking at other people. So it just kind of, it just goes away. And feel free to make that step. People are going to talk about it a little bit, like, oh, I didn't expect this person to do this. Like, I didn't expect Mariam to take this leap, or I didn't think that Katie would do that. I'm really surprised. Not like that stuff is just blah, blah. It's just superficial. It's just commentary. It's not worthy of anything. Blah, blah. It just moves on. And then they just think about someone else. And if it's coming from you, my advice is to spend more time with you and with the child within you, with your soul. So just try to spend, even if it's just 10 minutes, grounded by yourself, just listening in. And I think that the more connected we are to ourselves, the more we learn about, the self-compassion, and we learn not to be judgmental, like Shauna was talking about. And I think that as we do that, we start to treat ourselves the way that we typically would treat our best friends, right? Like, we're so generous to our best friends, and we're always out there and like cheering them up, and nothing's too bad that they should bury themselves in their bed, and like everything, it's gonna be fine. Well, the more you spend time with yourself and the more you love yourself, the more you're gonna start treating yourself like your own best friend. So something to maybe consider. I don't know.
Yes, I love that. And I love what you said about spending time with your inner child and getting connected with your inner child. I resonate with that so much, and we all have that. And it's so beautiful to think about, like, just when you're a child, you're so free and you haven't worried about all that stuff yet. And you haven't gotten in your own way yet, and you haven't heard the criticism yet. And so to try to get back to that beautiful, innocent, and pure place is so special. So I love that.
For sure. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much. And please play us one more song.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all of those who are listening and watching. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for helping New Beginnings. I think it's such an important mission, and I'm really honored, honestly, to be a part of this program. I'm glad that what we do, the singing, the songwriting, is so relevant to public policy. It's so relevant to social policy, to what's going on in the world, what you see on TV, like in like serious formal context and all that kind of stuff. It's all the same. It's all so related, and I'm so honored to be able to put a little bit of my what do you call that, imprint, the footprint, I don't know, into this conversation. So thank you for having me, Katie.
Oh my gosh. I thank you so much for doing this, even though you are in another country and you're still, you brought us international. You made Let the Music Set You Free international. I say us, it's like, it's just me. But seriously, thank you so much. It's been so fun hearing your story and just seeing how much we have in common and hearing your just amazing and inspirational music. I feel honored to have gotten all of this time with you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I'm going to close this off with the song that I ended up making a video of. And it's the first song that I ever wrote in its entirety. And it's called Solace. This is for you who live for love, but for love you stop to live. For you who give so much, you forget who you want to be. And this is for you who only see the goodness, but not the rest. Not the thousand reasons why you should run away. Run away, run away. Free your heart, ooh, with the help of your mind. And forgive yourself. For blaming will only harm. You leave them, you'll hurt them. But would you rather lie, call it your life, and die inside? You leave them, you'll hurt them. But would you rather breathe a half breath for the rest of your life? Your life, your life, your life, your life, your life, your life. Oh, for the rest of your life. This is for you who live for love, but for love you stop to live. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Katie. Thanks, everybody.
That was the perfect song to end this night with. That was so uplifting and so beautiful and so powerful. Thank you again so much. Thank you. And thank you for everyone tuning in. I just want to say real quick before I end the show that that Let the Music Set You Free is a live show that happens once a month on the last Thursday of the month, unless it's a month with holidays. Check my calendar. But it's happening every single month with different guests and different organizations. So if you like the show format, I'd love to have you back for another show. And also, in addition to the live shows that you can join us and be in the chat with during, I will also later post a kind of condensed version of this show, about a half hour or so, as a video podcast and an audio podcast. So you can find out about all of that on Let the Music Set You Free official on Facebook and Instagram, @ Let the Music Set You Free official. You can find all of those things. It should be a really fun series. Tonight was amazing. Mariam, thank you so much. And thank you to Shauna Foster from New Beginnings, who was here with us earlier. And thank you so much to everyone who donated. We know that you work hard for your money, and it means a lot that you want to generously support what we're doing here. So I'm filled with so much love. And like you said, I'm going to be up all night. But bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.